At 17 years old, you dropped out of school. Why did you do that?
Wow, what a good start. All right. Straight into it. Yeah, so I was studying communication in school, and I was also working in a radio station and a TV station. And I realized the gap that there was between my classes and what I was seeing on the field. And so I thought myself, well, there's no point in going to school. I'm going to learn it by going on the field and actually doing it myself. So that's what prompted me. I also have a very, very huge problem with authority. So I didn't like going to school and being told what to do. So that's also a reason that prompted me to leave school that early.
Do you still have a problem with authority?
I do. That's why I run a business, and I don't. So I don't have any boss.
Yeah. So a lot of people have said, and I'm in that vein as well too. Is I feel like I'm unemployable. Which if I ever come on hard times, I hope nobody else listens to this if I'm looking for a job. But I feel like I just always have to be the one that makes the decisions, and that I always kind of want to be in control of my own fate. Do you kind of feel the same way? Like you just have to be in control of everything?
I don't think I have to be in control. I don't like having someone telling me what to do or how to do it. I do like to kind of control my own destiny and where I go.
Right.
But the more you grow in business, the more you learn also that you cannot make all the decisions yourselves and that you cannot control every little things. So this is where, having a team comes in. So I like having people taking decisions for the business, but I don't want them to take decisions for me.
I understand that. Yeah, that's a really good point. A really good distinction there is that you can't just do it all yourself. You have to have good people on your team that are going to be able to help you make those decisions for the business. But like you said, at the end of the day, you're the one who's in control, in the driver's seat. I really like that. So what happened after you decided to drop out of school? What did you do then?
A lot of things that I cannot speak on a podcast, but I had a lot of fun with a lot of friends.
Feel free. Feel free. I don't mind hearing those stories.
No, but I started hanging out with a lot of friends that were musicians. Still in school they were, but so chilling a lot, having a lot of good discussion. Being close to that artsy side of things, a bit the hippie side.
Okay, I kind of see where you're going. Yeah.
Spending whole summer walking barefoot and smoking marijuana and having a lot of discussions about how the world was not running right.
Of course,
redoing everything. And then when I was 18, I left for BC. So I left from Montreal and I hitchhiked all across the country. To get to Tofino at first.
At 18 years old?
At 18 years old with my good friend Tom at this point.
So it's two of you, okay.
Yeah, two of us. So you can imagine I was like having a big beard and I was I really like the hippie vibe. And really, and then cross the country actually a few times hitchhiking and then went for about 2 years of travels across Canada, then back to Quebec.
Nice.
Spent some time in an ashram in the northern of Quebec. Doing meditation, following an Indian master. It was actually an amazing time. And
why did you want to get into meditation?
I think I was really lost about where to go in the world. We live in a very weird time, in a very weird world. I think there's a lot of things that are going on that I was not necessarily happy with, or I didn't know where to fit in this society.
Okay.
I am still an anarchist in the heart, and I don't really believe that the economic system that we have is the best that we could have. And I think that there's a lot of things that can change in our society. Mm-hmm. But when I was 18 years old, I was just, fuck the world and fuck everything.
Of course, yeah.
And so going into that space, finding meditation, finding spirituality kind of helped me to calm down that anger and kind of find a place where I'm not lost, which is within myself. And that gave me a sense of stability that still to this day is like kind of a place where I can be calm and free. And so whenever things are not going the way I want or things are not going well in life, I always know that I have this place I can come back to, and then
keeps you grounded, keeps you centered.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's like the world can go really fast around me, but I have this sanctuary inside where I'm just myself, and I'm just to be there, and I'm just happy to be alive and grateful to be alive, really. And that gives a sense of like you can do anything from there. You can be in any kind of situation, nothing is really gonna bother you. It still bothers me. But
Yeah, no, I know, but it's just not as much because I think a lot of people too, that they look at the state of the world, especially these days, they're like, it's almost like it's so overwhelming where it's like there's so many negative things that are happening. I feel like, and no politicians maybe are speaking for me, and they just feel like there's nothing I can do. And then people just end up being like, well, why should I even try? Why should I even bother? Do you see that happening a lot in society where you see people are just like, I don't even care anymore, and they just kind of give up? I feel like that's a terrible thing to do, but I feel like it's more uncommon.
I think it's about the sense of purpose, right? It's like, what is my purpose in life? What do I do? And the world is so big and things are not going the way we want. And we see environment being destroyed. We see, the social fabric of our society kind of falling apart. We see all of that. And we're asking ourselves, like, what's our purpose? Where should I go from there? So I do see a lot of people feeling that. And also, like, it's not everyone that has a chance of working, having a job that actually brings them a sense of purpose. And I think that's something that is also very important to understand in our lives. So yeah, and I do apply that in my business. Like, we work with clients and with projects that actually we feel have a sense of purpose. My company, we have a very strong philanthropic commitment to the arts and culture, which gives a purpose to the company. And I think I'm trying as much as I can to only work on projects and only take on clients that I know are going to give us a sense that we're working for something that actually makes sense. It's not always possible. Sometimes it's just, it's cool. Their projects are still cool and clients are still amazing. Mm-hmm. But it's not always possible. But I try as much as I can to orient that in what we do.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head about finding purpose. For me, that's one of the most important things is like, if you find purpose in life, it makes it so that when you wake up in the morning, you feel like energized and ready to go, and you don't have this sense of dread or this depression that's kind of looming over you. And I want to get to that in a second. I want to get to using entrepreneurship as an avenue to find purpose. But before I get to that, I just want to ask you one question. I don't know if you have an answer to this, but for the person who's listening right now, maybe they're a younger person, they're having a sense of, they're struggling with finding their purpose in life. Do you have any advice on how they could go about to try to find that purpose?
That's a very hard question. I'm in the giving advice business.
That's fair.
But I would say, don't be scared of stopping and taking a minute to kind of think and see the world. I think the best gift I gave myself was to get that time to travel, to see the world, to kind of say, I'm not going to lose 2 years of my life between 18 and 20. Might seem like the end of the world, but it's not going to be at all. Taking that time for yourself, taking that time to be alive, to feel that life around you, to travel, to see the world, to get out of your daily routine and to see other things. I think that's the best advice I can give. And then when you come back to your life or to the moment you were, you're going to see what actually the value there is there and what maybe things that you want to change and what you want to turn around. But I think, for me, when I left and when I went to travel, when I came back, I things were different. And the way I saw my family, the way I saw my friends, the way I saw life was very different. And I still see to this day what is really important for me and what is not, and I think often we kind of look at the world and we see things, we see value in things that don't have actually really value for you. So if you stop, you take a moment, you come back, you're going to see what the real value is for yourself. And I think that's going to help to kind of move forward.
That's amazing. I love that. That's really great advice and really great insights. So on to entrepreneurship. So after you were traveling, is that when you started to get into entrepreneurship after, traveling, seeing the world, having a new perspective on life?
I started earlier in my life. I was already an entrepreneur when I was in school. I think I was 10 years old. I was selling candies on the schoolyard.
Yeah.
So
the back alley candy deals.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I always had it in me. I always wanted to build things. When I was in high school, I even, I always saw the world as at a playground, and I always looked at problems thinking that I could make the solution. So I always had that orientation to kind of be a creator. I also like to help people, and I think that comes also with a sense of, you know, if you like building things and you like helping people, some things are starting to be there as a possibility for entrepreneurship. Even when I was 16, I started working. My first jobs were in sales. I was doing door-to-door selling painting for people.
Oh,
and
okay,
you know, I was taking the role of a team lead, and I was already expressing leadership and the want to actually do more. So I think it was always in me. Like I say, I don't think we choose to be an entrepreneur. I think being an entrepreneur is kind of part of our DNA. I was born this way. I would say that.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is my thinking.
Is it more of a need to solve problems, or is it a curiosity driven thing?
I think it's a lot of things. I think it's you know, building is always amazing. Being a creator is something that is great. Seeing the impact of what we're doing, you know, in other people's life is amazing. Of course, it's also like it's good. It's fun to make money.
Of course.
I mean, when you're building a business, it's also one of the goals. And it also, you know, I think there's so many possibilities when you look at entrepreneurship. It's like, I don't have a 9-to-5 job. I'm not stuck in a career. If tomorrow I decide to change my business, and right now we're in the digital space and the AI space, but if tomorrow I want to, I don't know, start a competitor to Lego.
Yeah,
I mean, let's do it.
Yeah.
I can do anything.
Yeah.
So I think that's the amazing part of being an entrepreneur, is that from the day one, you can, you know, like look at Elon Musk. He built, first of all, he started with PayPal. Then he built a space company, a car company, a flamethrower company.
Yeah, so all these weird things.
So I think like for everything that we don't like about him, there's also this he's showing something that is amazing in entrepreneurship, which is the ability to create anything you set your mind to.
On the flip side, do you think that's why some people don't have a tendency for entrepreneurship, is that it is almost so open that people are just either overwhelmed with that, or they're just like, you know what, it's just not for me. I just like to go to work, do the same thing, or do whatever it is, and then get good at that, and then that's it.
I think being an entrepreneur comes with a lot of it comes with a lot of risks. You have to be advert. Like I have a very, very high tolerance for risk myself. I think entrepreneurs need to have that. You don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. You might lose everything on a whim.
Yep.
It happened to me in the past. So that tolerance for risk is really there. And also, I think if you are a manager or if you are an entrepreneur, you have to have a fascination for problems. You need to love problems and problem solving, because that's 80% of my job is actually solving problems. So I think it's not for everyone, for sure. And it's not always as green as we see, you know. We always see entrepreneurs that had success and like, oh, wow, I want to be like them. But what they don't tell you is eight years of hardship, of trying, of losing, of being on the edge of losing your mind, of losing your house, of losing everything you have.
Sleeping on the floor in the factories for a couple months at a time.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's not for everyone, and success doesn't come cheap.
So speaking of success not coming cheap, or maybe on the flip sides of failures, how many, like you said, you started entrepreneurship at an early age. How many different businesses have you started, and how many of them have you failed?
That's a good question. I started, I think, 7 legit businesses.
Okay, with like an actual like incorporation or
like exactly,
documents. Okay, yeah. 7. Okay, yeah.
If you take away the little tryouts and
right.
you know, and so yeah. So I started 7 businesses at all. I think 3 of them failed right away. Well, not right away, but like you know, in the way that they were built, or the fact that money was not coming fast enough.
Yeah.
2 of them were closed, so they didn't fail, but they just closed. And so now I have Nukleo, which is my main business for 4 years now, and I think it's now the success that I was looking for all these years. You know. So
would you say that those failures have helped you? Like, what have you learned in your failures that has allowed you to carry that knowledge over to finally create something that is a success?
You have a couple months for this discussion.
Yeah.
Because I learned so many things. It's especially because I left school so early. So I didn't go into business administration or any type of knowledge that I should have had about finances, about managing people, about HR, about
even learning how to do the books. Yeah, it's so important.
There's so many things. So, but a few good lessons that I had. First of all, is managing your finances. It's like keeping an eye on where the money goes, where the money comes from, and do you have the ability to get cash in quickly if you're able to? For me, that was always because of my failures for a while. I had a bad bank record. Now it's better, but my credit score was shit for a while. And when I started this business, my credit score was shit. I looked this morning, it's now very good, but it took time to rebuild it. And so for me, that being able to get that cash in has always been about being able to sell. Being able to go out and go see people and say like, look, I'm going to sell you something and you're going to pay me really fast because I need that money for my business to run. And of course that comes with like, you need to deliver quality. You need to make sure that you're actually bringing value to that person because otherwise they're not going to give you anything. So for me, that was always this ability to being able to go out and get the business rolling. That was my cash injection for what I'm doing right now. Even now, like, I mean, it's what I do best. Then the second thing, I think it's really about the people you work with and the people you associate with. I had partnerships that didn't work out for many reasons on both sides. I'm not an easy person to work with also. I do have to say that.
Easy to work with as like a partner or work for? Like
no, as a partner, because like I said, like I have my own mind and I need not to control, but I like to be in the driver's seat. That's not always easy when you have other people that are 50-50 with you, and so it's not that easy. And I also think that sometimes I have a bit of crazy ideas, and everyone tells me it's a crazy idea, but then we do it. Right. Like coming to Halifax, for example, it's like I'm just going to do a little apartheid and then we're going to come back Sounds to good, that. Yep. But we were with Alexi, who's our CTO, who's also a partner in the business. We were in Toronto at a big event and we met, and he lives in Halifax. And it was like, oh, well, it would be nice if you have colleagues and we have clients in Halifax. You could actually have a life with the business in Nova Scotia. And he was like, oh yeah, that sounds good. I'm like, okay, good. So we went on the event app. We found 3 people that were from Halifax. 2 of them were Greg Dobson and Lisa Dobson. They're not siblings, but just
last names. Okay, yeah.
At that point, one of them, Greg, was looking for Digital Nova Scotia, and Lisa for Invest Nova Scotia. They met us. They told us how great Nova Scotia was. I believed them. I came in June, I think 2024 or 2025. Yeah,
2025 would have been just last summer.
Yeah, that was the summer before. Yeah.
Okay,
so 2024.
Yeah.
And came and said like, oh, wow, this is amazing. It's a great place. I love the sea. I love the air. I want to come here often. And I felt like it was something to build. And so we started having a branch here. Right from nowhere, like, let's open an office. Let's be in Halifax.
Okay.
And then we did it. So I think that also, that spirit of being able to do things really fast.
Make those quick decisions.
Yeah. Is something that is hard to do when you have a lot of people around you to make these decisions. Because then they're going to tell you it's risky. You know, you're not going to get, it's going to be expensive to go there all the time. It's going to take time before we break even. We might lose money. It might not work. But at some point, like, I like to be able to do those decisions and just go. And my team now knows that I'm a bit crazy, but that I always deliver, or most of the time I deliver. So I think partnerships and the people that you work with is really important. And also the team that you build. I think this is one of the most precious things that I've learned is you can only be as good as the people you work around and you work with. And we're in the service industry. So in service, your team needs to be the perfect team.
It's almost like everyone needs to know how to communicate effectively with clients as well. Because
exactly.
you're the face of the company. You're speaking for the company.
Speak with clients, speak with others, deliver quality work. So each human being that has been joining our company in the past 4 years, lots of them are still there. And we have a team of like 19 now. And each of them are amazing people. they have great talent, they have knowledge that I don't have, and they're better at doing things than me, which is the important part as well. And I think that team is what gives us power right now, because we're able to deliver projects with a high quality, with good speed, that clients are happy with, because of that team, because of each of the person that is there, and because of what we're building. And I think that is one of the most important things I learned, is that you cannot do it alone. You need to have a good team around you. And every person that you choose is someone that's going to be very important for you in the future. And that also means that sometimes you do have to make hard decisions and get people out of that team, because a team is only going to be as strong as each of its member. And the weakest link is always going to be that is going to be the strength of your company.
Right. You're only as strong as your weakest link, in a sense.
Exactly. So that's also another, like, my first business failed and went bankrupt. One of my first business failed and went bankrupt because I couldn't fire my staff fast enough. We had a big client that went. They had financial problems. We had a partner that had financial problems as well. Business went down very, very fast in terms of the cash flow coming every month. I had a team of like 10 people. That was way too much, but I just wanted to grow too fast. I was like 21.
Okay, yeah, I want to be the next.
And I didn't fire fast enough. I should have cut half my staff very fast, and I didn't.
What is it about the staff that you were hiring that you knew that they weren't good enough? Was it them as their work that they were doing? Like, how would you know when it's the right time to fire somebody?
Oh, that's a very tricky question, and I know my staff is going to listen to this, so I'm going to try to be
diplomatic.
Diplomatic, yeah. No, I think there's a few factors, but it's about the performance. It's like, you can see, is that person delivering the work that I'm expecting them to deliver? It's about, do I think they can grow? Like, do I think that if I give them more tools, more training, if I push them, if I give them support, can they reach the level that we're going with? And are they willing to do so? What's their motivation and where we're going with that? And I think our team, like the team we have at Nukleo, are individuals that are driven by learning, by being curious, by wanting to improve, by wanting to do more. And that's also, sometimes you see people and like, well, that's not what drives them. And if they don't have that drive, they're not going to fit with my team and with my culture and where I want to go. So it's not always about the individual or their own capacities. Often it's also about, do they fit in my vision? Do they fit in the team in a year, in 2 years? And I can say that all of the staff that I have right now, and each of them fits in that vision, fits in that future. And I'm very, very, very lucky to have them.
What do you look for then when someone's applying for a job, or when you have a call for applications? What is it that makes you, what do you look for during the interview process, and how do you select the right candidate? Because obviously you're doing a great job of finding like the perfect fit. And a lot of people that I've talked to, they're like having a hard time finding good people, right?
I don't want to give you my secret sauce, because then everyone's going to use it.
Everyone's going to use it.
But I think I have so this is a bit of a spiritual thing that I'm going to say, but I feel like when you want to attract something and you're in a good place to attract, like to manifest what you're looking for, it happens. And so this is like kind of the magic in life also. And I think with team members and with staff and with hiring people, it's also the same thing. It's like, if you're in a good place to attract, manifestation is going to come. And sometimes manifestation is amazing people, amazing staff that are going to join your team. And then it's being able to recognize the people that are coming and being like, okay, wow, there's a potential there. There's a potential to actually work together and do something. And then if that potential does not come through, then you have to cut them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's that. And it's also like, I'm really looking for people that have that spark in their eye. It's not all about the technical capacities of people. Of course, they need to have skills that for the job they're applying for.
For sure.
But it's also, do they have that spark? Do they have that intention of like going above and beyond? Are they ambitious? Are they curious? Do they want to improve themselves and the world around them? And if that is present, then I think they might be a good fit for us. And then we push a bit forward to work.
I think I won't go any further into asking for the secret sauce. Maybe you could tell me off camera, because I think I'm at the point now where I'm going to start looking for somebody to come help me out because I'm getting pretty stretched to capacity here. But I think it does somebody a disservice if you do keep them on for too long, if you don't think they're the right fit. Because I remember one of my first jobs, from day one, I sat down at the table and I absolutely hated it. And I wish that I would have gotten fired before, because I didn't have the guts to quit because I was just a young guy. I was like, I need the money. And I ended up going 8 months at a job I absolutely hated. And then they finally let me go because, I didn't have the drive. I didn't have the will to do what I needed to do in order to excel at the position.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. If you know that someone is not a fit in your team, you're doing a disservice, like you said, to them by keeping them, because you're not giving them a chance to find something else. By doing so, you're stopping them from, you're stealing time from them. And time is the most important commodity we have. Yep. It's the only thing that is finite and that there's not an infinite amount of. It's our time on this planet.
And that we all have the same of.
Well, for now.
Maybe but we all have 24 hours in a day.
So I think this is definitely when you see that a fit is not there, when you see someone on the team is not going to fit, it's not going to work, don't steal their time. It might be hard for you, it might be hard for them, it might be hard for everyone around. There might be amazing people. But if you keep them too long, you're stealing their time, and you're not giving the chance of someone else of having that time to come in and be great.
Let's segue off to the work that you do right now. So tell us a little bit about the company and the work that you do and the, kind of the clients that you serve.
Yeah, this is the exciting part. So we started a business as a web development agency at first to really help nonprofit and philanthropic organization with their web needs. Now we do a lot of things, but all digital. So we work basically with SMBs, nonprofits, and middle-sized organization to help them with everything that has to do with their digital needs. Might be digital communication, digital marketing, building platforms, building apps, building everything that they need. That's the core of what we do. But recently, there's been a lot of advance into the AI world. So we're also working with a lot of organizations now into their digital transformation. Because the thing is, building a good digital ecosystem is so key in performing in today's world that our business has been shifting a lot into having that position of helping businesses actually succeed by building them the digital ecosystems that they need. And AI-powered digital ecosystems are the future. So this is what we're going for and what we're doing on a day-to-day basis. And our mission is actually to be able to democratize artificial intelligence. Like a lot of big banks right now in Canada, and I'm not going to name any, but one in particular that I know of, they don't do any line of codes themselves. Programmers have been using AI to program software in big banks for the past 7 to 8 months. And it's been happening. They don't even write a line of code. They just do the review. They do the security check.
Full AI?
Full AI code building.
Really?
That has been happening in a lot of big companies, and that's been happening everywhere. And so the big companies, they have the manpower, they have the money, they have the means to be able to evolve very, very, very quickly with the AI world that we're in. And what we can do with AI is just amazing. But smaller organizations, medium-sized businesses, small businesses, nonprofits, they don't have that capacity. They don't have that money. They don't have that knowledge.
For sure.
They don't even know where to start looking for. And this is where we come in. We want to democratize access to the future by helping those organizations transform themselves, access AI as fast as possible, and be able to do amazing things really quickly, which were not possible a few years ago. Like we've developed ourselves techniques and way to work to develop code and develop software very, very fast. Secure software, strong software that is, on our own servers. It's not lovable or any type of other things like that. It's our own proprietary method and way to get there. And now we can probably build a software that would have cost $500,000 and take a year or two to build. 2 years ago, We can now do it for 50,000 in a couple months.
Wow.
So any business owner that is like, oh, if I had this thing in my digital ecosystem, if I had this product or this ERP or this
ERP
way of my
stands for?
It's like your management software, basically.
Oh, okay.
Or if I had this portal for my customers that they can interact with, or if I was able to optimize my marketing communications by using this and this tool, that would be great. But then they look at the price tag and they're like, it's not possible.
Spend $500,000. Yeah.
I cannot spend 100,000 for that. But if it was available for me for 20,000 or 25,000, maybe I could get a part of a grant, and maybe I can get some shred from the government. Maybe I can innovate. Then it becomes possible. So for us, the future of our company is making it possible for smaller organizations to thrive in the AI world using technology that they didn't think it was possible for them to access.
How important is it going to be for companies that aren't really tech savvy and aren't really in the digital space to start to adopt these new tools? Like, do you feel like they're going to start getting left behind?
Oh, yeah. And I mean, most companies don't even have a good database. Some people have
Excel sheets.
Where is your client database? Oh, here and here. And I mean, it's not their fault. They're building great companies. They're delivering great service. They're not focused on that. So a lot of companies are already behind. They're already 10 years behind. They don't even understand that. And then AI is going to come. And in 20 years, I mean, it's just the world is going to be so different. If you don't adopt AI now, if you don't start using it, if you don't start, but not just using ChatGPT, I mean, really looking, how is your operation process going? What are the different places in your operations where AI can actually come and change, making it faster, making it cheaper, making it also better for your clients, delivering better experience. If you don't do that, your competitor is going to do that. Their 18-year-old son who's at Dal studying computer engineering is going to help them change their business.
Right.
And they're going to write you off the map. This is, I was like, do you know any business that is not using a computer right now?
Oh, geez. No.
Not using the internet?
Yeah. Maybe like a laundromat facility or something like that. But they can't
disappeared.
Grow.
Businesses that were not able to use computers, to use the internet, to adapt to that, to start doing e-commerce for the ones that were important, to be on Google Map. These are all things that companies know are important. They know if they don't do it, they're not going to be competitive. It's the same thing with AI. It's going to come down to the same thing. If you don't adopt it, if you don't put it in your business, you're not going to survive in tomorrow's.
And that's even for those blue collar type jobs. Like even if you're a plumber or an electrician, a roofer, I think you're still going to need to have some type of systems in place in order to be able to, like you said, manage your clients, manage your whole business, manage your operations, do your marketing. Because I feel like some guys are like, well, I'm just a roofer. People are just going to go on Google and, well, I guess even then they would need to have some kind of digital footprint in order for people to find them.
Your competitor is going to come, take an iPad, take a picture of the roof, and the quote is going to come out. He's going to send it to the client. Client's going to be able to pay by credit card in 6 easy payments. And then once the job is done, it's going to scan it again, make sure that the pictures are good. The AI is going to tell it if there's anything that needs to be redone. And then when everything is good, it's going to send that to his insurance. His insurance is going to go down. You can see that's just me sparking off like this, but the possibilities are infinite. So the next guy is going to do it. Where's your business going to go? AI is not going to replace people. I mean,
like they're still going to need the people to do the actual roofing job.
Yeah.
But the company itself.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, AI is going to give us superhuman powers. That's how I see it. And AI is going to enable us to do things that we couldn't think that we would do. Like if you have a candy shop, your job is to sell candy. You're bringing smile to kids, and you're not thinking about how AI is going to affect you. But if you think about how AI can actually improve it for your customer, then there might be 1,000 ideas that come to mind of like how you can use AI to improve your customer relationship, to improve your customer experience, to save your cost also. Like AI can look at all the candies you're selling and being like, look, you should have less inventory of this and more of this. AI can go on the web, find then the latest trends in candy and just gives you the right suppliers for you to buy them. And so your kids are always having the latest candies and the
latest candies. Yeah.
So there's a lot of ways that AI is going to improve what we do and enable us to do so much more with less. And this is what we actually strive to build with Nukleo in the future of businesses. But we want to do it for the smaller companies, the smaller organization, not the big ones.
Yeah, because they can already do their thing, and
they already are doing their thing.
Yeah. So what is the mindset? Are you seeing any resistance from companies that you're talking to that are hesitant to get on this AI bandwagon because whether they don't understand it or whether they think that it's not going to work for them because they can't think outside of the box? Like, what is the mindset shift that people are going to need to make in order for them to be able to get on board with doing things that are, from what you're saying, for their best interest, right?
That's a very good question. It's AI is not a miracle, and we see a lot of. I don't want to say anything bad about people, but whenever there's a new thing coming in town, there's a lot of people that are surfing on that wave and be like, "Oh, look, I can do that." I mean, you can build an agent with ChatGPT. My 8-year-old niece can do that. So I think for every company, when we approach them with a business perspective. We look at processes. We look at where they can save cost. We speak their language because this is actually, we're building something for their business. We're not, building AI. We're actually improving their business.
It's a use case, yeah.
It's like, how do you actually bring it to the business? And when you start doing that, and when you start showing them, look, you have this amazing business process, A, B, C, D, and AI can come in C, D and help you a lot to go faster. And here's the cost that you're going to save. Here's the how more fast it's going to go. Here, the experience that's going to be improved for your clients. And here's the possible potential impact. Then you speak their language. I think that's something that is very important. We have to demystify AI. AI is not some kind of magical tool. It's actually a tool. And it has to come into a business process. It has to be correctly implemented to be durable and last long. It's not something you can just throw at a problem and have a solution. It needs to have that thinking of how do I really put it in my business? How is it going to last long? How am I building something for the future and not just something that's going to, give me good things for a prompt? That instant gratification is going to go away very fast. And the business that are actually going to succeed are the ones that are going to be able to understand how to integrate AI in their business process to actually save time, money, deliver better experience, and become superhumans.
I think that's key right there. It's the integration into your business and integration into your process to make it work more efficiently, to free you up and free your staff up to do other things that help you get even more business and make more money, which is fantastic. I feel like a lot of people, I don't know if this is true or not, but I think a lot of people are still at the superficial level of AI because it's almost like, because you hear people say, oh, it's a product without a real problem in a sense, where people are just like, you know what? Yeah, I could throw some things and I could talk with her or what have you, but I think people still are not really figuring out how they can use it to their benefit. And yeah, I don't know if it's that people need to change their mindset around it or
people need help.
They need help.
They need us. That's the truth. It's like, I've been to 8 events across the world last year to see what's happening, to see where the AI is going. We do it every day. We implement it in different businesses every day. That's the way we're actually thinking about the future. So it's very hard for a business owner that doesn't know anything about it to start doing it. They need companies like us. They need their governments to be behind them, to give them actual information, to demystify AI. They need money to be able to do so. There's a lot of money coming from the Canadian government right now that's going to keep on going.
Just through grants and R&D?
Through grants or R&D. And they need people to actually know those grants that can help them get that. So I think it's about anything. It's like, if you don't know anything about marketing, go ask a marketing guy.
Right.
That's the same thing. If you don't know anything about AI, just don't try to do it yourself.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
good if you do, but if you try to do your
It's a
marketing
learning curve.
yourself, you might fail.
Yeah, because maybe a slightly high chance. So speaking of, I wonder if you can, this is very difficult to ask or to answer probably, the future. Where do you see yourself going in the next 5 to 10 years? Because I imagine when you first started, you weren't really thinking too much about AI. I know maybe you were, but where do you see yourselves going now in the next 5 years?
We were thinking about AI because we were born 4 years ago. So my baby was an AI born baby. It's an AI generation baby.
Yeah.
So we always were thinking and are thinking about AI all the time. I think for us, it's not about AI itself. It's about, we live in a digital world. It's going to be more and more digitalized. Soon we're going to have glasses and look at the world really differently and take phone call with our brains. I don't know,
things, like the chip or whatever. Yeah, the future. That's what I love. That's what I love about science fiction as well too, because it's gives people the ability to just have a complete imagination as to what our future can be. And then that's almost what it's like with technology and in the digital world. who knows where things could go? It's endless. Like entrepreneurship. If we want to invent something, it's possible.
Completely. I mean, if you open a comic from the 70s, half of the sci-fi comic, half of the things in there have happened.
Yeah.
So
it's almost like sci-fi has like given people ideas of like, and engineers and physicists like, oh, maybe we can actually, but like Star Trek is a great example.
I'm sure Star Trek has inspired a lot of things.
Yeah, like all the tablets and stuff that they had back in the day. It's like, oh, well, I could make something like that. Yeah, it's amazing.
But to come back to your question, like where do I see myself in 5 or 10 years? It's like we want to be a worldwide company that's helping SMBs and smaller businesses to actually thrive in today's world. 85% of the businesses on the market are actually small and medium-sized businesses and organizations. They all need that, and our goal is to expand globally and to be their service provider for the future for all of their digital needs, from communication to digital marketing to building web to integrating AI in processes and doing digital transformation. So that's our goal. It's a very ambitious one, but I think the world needs it. And my dream at some point is that a government somewhere is going to call us and be like, we need you to be in our country. We need you to be in our city. We need your company to come and help our businesses, and we want to facilitate that. That's my big dream. It's like if a president of a country calls me and say, we need your business in our country because you're helping that fabric to be stronger and our economy to thrive and actually have a real impact on people work life, this is where I'm going to say, good, I'm retiring.
Yeah, that's amazing. But it's such a good point though, in that so much of our economy is based on those small and medium-sized businesses that are less than like 100 people. People talk about the big companies and yeah, they have their own issues or what have you, but really the bread and butter, especially in North America, it's the small businesses and small medium-sized businesses. They need the support. Without them, our whole economy is going to collapse. So
these are the real heroes. And I want to say that they are the real heroes. Those entrepreneurs that are waking up every morning, running any type of smaller businesses. They deliver service to everyone. They find solutions to problem. They drive the economy. And then they use all of the products from the big companies that we say, oh, Microsoft has so much money. Well, we're the Microsoft clients. All of the smaller businesses are actually changing the world. They are the real heroes, not the entrepreneurs that have made billions and billions of dollars. We always look at them. But no, the real inspiration, the real heroes of our today's society are all of these entrepreneurs, all of these managers that are actually doing things every day to change the world.
I love what you're saying there about small businesses and there being kind of a pillar. And you mentioned something earlier in the podcast talking about philanthropy. How does that tie into what you were talking about here in terms of helping everything grow? Like you want to support the local arts, the local culture. Can you just maybe tie that up into how it's helping you in your business and then how it's helping your community?
There's this thinking that once you're successful, once you have money, once you have power, then you give back. That's the way philanthropy is seen by most people.
Right. Make your own money first. Then
Make your own money first. Yeah. You first, then the others. And at the start of our company, we decided that this was not going to be us. And this was not going to be the way we were operating. And we were going to give all around, like during all our journey. And we were going to be philanthropists from day one. At the first, it was small, but now it's actually a significant part of what we do is in our community. And we chose to go with the arts and culture because, I don't know what it is for all of Canada, but in Quebec, it's only 4% of the donations actually go to the arts and culture. And I'm fairly certain that in Nova Scotia, it's the same thing. And all across Canada, it's the same thing. So we chose that because we think that our artists are actually bringing beauty to this world. They're actually bringing relief to a lot of people. They're helping us to think about different subjects. They're making our children laugh. They're making our children learn. They're making us grow. And so culture is part of our society fabric. Arts and culture are at the heart of a society, and we don't even acknowledge it. And we take it for granted. We're like, oh yeah, we should have arts and culture, but like who's paying for them? They all lots of artists have a second job or a difficulty, putting things together at the end of the month. And we're just like, oh yeah, well the government should take care of it. I mean, no.
We don't call them starving artists for nothing. There's a reason why there's that term.
So exactly. So we started a commitment in the arts and culture. And so we give back 1% of our revenue, net profit, in donation in the arts and culture, 1% in sponsorships. We offer 40% discounts to any organization that it's in the arts and culture space, for profit or not for profit, whatever. If you work in the arts and culture, you have 40% discount with us. All of our employees, they have $350 per year to go see Canadian arts and culture. Not a Madonna show, but like any type of other culture. So they spend that money and we refund them. So that's also a way to kind of give back and put people in the seats. We're really implicated into the visual arts because this is one of the things that I like. So we do have a small collection that is growing of contemporary visual art at the office. And we're making a commitment of buying art of young contemporary artists that are going to be coming up, and that's the direction of the collection that's going to be taking. And I'm also really implicated in the arts and culture space in Montreal. Through, like, for example, I'm the president of the Young Philanthropist Circle of the Museum of Fine Arts, and I'm on the board of the Canadian, the Montreal Art Council. So it's quite fun to be in that space and to do that. But all of that to say that we're doing all of that, but what has been really great for us is that by giving, we're actually receiving, because we're going to donation events, we're going to fundraising events, we're meeting people, we're having connections that are amazing. And outside of just going to a networking event, we're going to an event where everyone is there for the same reason. They like something, we have something in common, and then you create meaningful connections, you meet great people, and then people actually give back when you give money out, when you give time, when you actually help your community remembers that, and they're like, oh, well, I know someone. I'm gonna create a network for you. I'm gonna send you an opportunity your way. I'm gonna try to help you as much as I can. So giving and being an active member of society, has actually been for us a growth engine. Right. It has been giving us strength, power. It's bringing us further, and it's doing good for the world. And we love that. And for our team as well. I mean, our team is like, oh, I work for a company that actually does something. Mm-hmm. So that actually gives back. Yeah. And not just to do a write-off. It's actually, sometimes my financial director is looking at me, is like, why the fuck did you did that donation? Yeah. You're putting us at risk. And I'm like, I don't care, because that's the way we're actually building our company, and that's the way we're actually going to give back.
But it's amazing too. I love what you're saying, that you're giving back because you just want to give back to the community. But at the same time, say you donate $50,000 to the Arts Center. And then, like you said, you go to the events and you go to meet these people and they know you and they're like, well, thank you so much for your donation. And then 6 months later, someone's like, oh yeah, I know this person needs a new application or whatever. Oh, I remember I met this person at the art gallery or what have you. Go talk to Clément and he's going to help you out. And then you get a $100,000 contract. And then it just circles and snowballs. Like,
and you can give back again.
And then you give back again. So it's just that cycle. Is that kind of, would you say that that's something that young entrepreneurs should kind of keep in mind, of that it's good to give back to the community because, number one, you're giving back to the community first and foremost, but it also allows you an avenue to go out there and build connections and build networks for your business, which in the end, that's what business is all about, relationships.
I think philanthropy, giving back, being implicated in your community should be in any business strategy. It's a very powerful.
And you never hear anybody talking about this.
No, people don't.
Yeah.
Because people are afraid to say that giving, you're expecting something in return. We're not expecting something in return, but we are getting something in return. This is not the expectation at first. But it's still part of our business strategy, because we know that by being out there, by giving, we're actually being an active member of society, and being that active member of society is going to help our business thrive. But we don't want to talk about it. We don't want to say it because we want to I gave money and I expect something in return. That's not something that people actually have in mind. But it's not about giving and expecting something to come right back. I mean, the universe works in a way you give there, something's going to come on the left side. So don't give and expect to get something back from where you give. That's not the way things.
This is a bad mindset. Yeah.
No, but it's also about that mindset of keeping the energy flowing, giving around, and that energy, that sense of purpose that you also give your organization, becomes a growth engine for at least for us that worked that way.
It reminds me too of, in terms of giving, where I think business owners, I myself do this too, is like, I'm going to give a lot of things away for free, where I'm going to make videos, I'm going to educate people, and I'm going to put a whole bunch of value out there in the world. And yeah, it's like you're giving that value away, but then you're receiving it tenfold back because people see you as someone that they want to do business or whatever. So I never even thought about switching it though, in terms of giving back to the community specifically, as opposed to just people that might be my potential customers. So I really love that frame, and I really love that angle. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. That's amazing. One final thing here before you go. For the person that's listening here today, that's looking to start their own business, and they're not sure what they want to do it, but they're not sure, they're maybe a little bit afraid. What would you say to them today to maybe push them a little bit over the edge to go ahead and take that leap and to go for it?
Add me on LinkedIn and message me. We'll have a discussion.
That's perfect.
And I'm very
That's
happy
amazing.
to do so. If you're scared of losing something and that thing is very important for you, take a minute and think about it. If you have nothing to lose, then just do it. It's like, and it's the worst is you fail. Failure is actually a success for me. Every time I fail, I learn, I get back up, and I keep going. It's like, if you look at a kid is falling all the time. It's falling, it's stumbling across. It's just, look at a baby, it doesn't know to do anything. And then it fails. And that's the way we learn. And at some point in life, we're like, oh, we'll stop failing. We'll always be about success. No, keep on failing. Keep on that energy that you have as a kid of trying things and falling around, and then being, oh, now I know how to handle a ball.
Absolutely.
It's like, so I think this is the thing. It's like, we have to see failure as success. And that's also a growth engine.
I love that. That's a perfect way to end it. Clément, thank you so much for joining. It was an absolute pleasure speaking with you today. Wishing you all the success in the future. And I'd love to have you back on in the next year or two, just to see how far you've come along in your journey.
Let's redo it in one year. And thank you so much for having me. It was a great pleasure.
Perfect. Thank you very much.